guys! So today I wanted to talk about the subject of moving in Japan and where June and I kind of think we want to move in the future, or basically the fact that we have no idea, and so we're nayaming about it, thinking a lot. Sorry for my really lazy way of sitting. I'm pretty much always sitting like this at home, and this is how I want to sit now. Just like slouched on the couch because it's comfy. So June and I have been trying to figure out where we want to move next for a long time, like maybe 2 years, basically since I came to Japan, I guess. Because neither of us are like super in love with Aichi Prefecture, although I haven't spent much time in Inuyama, which is kind of a nicer area, so maybe we'll try to visit there a few times before we decide to leave the prefecture, but I'm just not a super fan because all the places I've lived so far here they're not like in the city, so things aren't very convenient, but it's still too urban for me. There's like, especially where we are now, there's like no parks or anything and not much nature, and I'm a huge nature-y person, so it makes my soul not happy that there's not enough nature here. The reason we moved to this apartment is because it's renovated and so it looks really nice on the inside. It's actually a fairly old apartment. It's not super great, but it's concrete, so it's like structurally more sound than the wooden houses here, and like the insulation's better than those houses. And it looks nice on the inside, which is important because when we're not traveling, I'm in here basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, editing videos, and I want to be able to like look at nice things all day. Since I'm here so often, a lot of Japanese apartments are really old and like run down and not nice looking. You can get nice ones, but of course they're more expensive and kind of beyond our price range. Our apartment is like $600 a month before.
There is an easy way to tell. The ones that are not nice, usually apartmento. The ones that are good are called mansion. Japanese mansions are not mansions, but like giant, better quality apartments.
Giant. Well, those are kind of more like they're kind of more like condos, right? Because you actually purchase the mansion and you can like your place in the mansion.
No. They're actually little mansions you can just rent.
Oh, you can just rent too?
Yes,
okay.
There are many, but since we have to have since we have two cats.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, I don't know if there are many mansions that let you have pets. Mansions are like the apartment buildings that are super tall, like, 14 stories, whereas apartments are usually like 2 stories-ish.
All my friends live in a mansion, they look all nice.
But if you're looking at apartments, especially if you want pets, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, then of course the quality is not good, and inside everything is like a faded yellow, nasty, disgusting color, and like all the plastic is yellow, and it makes me very sad and annoyed that it's so like depressing, and I cannot live in one of those places because I would become depressed really quickly. So it's really hard to find something in our price range that looks nice, like where we live. For $600 a month, it's not bad. I mean, it's really small, which is one of the reasons we need to move, because like our closets are stuffed. There's just not enough room for us here. So we need to get a bigger place, but then we have to think about like, where are we going to move? There still aren't very many places that have been renovated like this, especially if you're closer to the city. Something like this would be a lot more expensive there. Like for Tokyo, our apartment is not small, but for where we live, it is quite small. But we don't want to live in the city center because that's just too urban, and then it's just too expensive there as well. But what we've been trying to figure out basically is like the prefecture and city we want to move to after this, which probably won't be anytime soon because it's so expensive to move. We made a video about that before, but it cost us $4,000 to move into this apartment, which is absolutely ridiculous. So we can't afford to move again soon. But when we do, the issue is where, because one thing that I don't like about where we live is that we're so far from all of our friends. And the older I get, the more importance I place on family and friends rather than just like doing stuff or like hanging out by myself and playing video games or whatever. Like I was fine with that when I was younger, but now I need people to like hang out with and have fun with. I think it's really important for your mental health to have people that you can have fun with. And where we live, we're just too far from everywhere. And most of our friends are in Tokyo. But the thing is, I do not like Tokyo. Tokyo is a very like kind of soul-sucking city. It's very crowded. People are not like, I think it's like any large city in the world. People are just doing their own thing and they're in a hurry, and like people just bump you all the time in the subway stations, or it's too crowded for you to really walk. Like you take 3 steps and then you have to stop because someone's crossing in front of you, and I get really frustrated with that. I'm like a fast walker. I don't like having to like zigzag and like pause all the time in the stations. I get really frustrated with trying to maneuver throughout the stations in Tokyo. So I think I would be really not happy living in Tokyo, but then again, like all of our friends are there. What a lot of our friends have done is move outside of Tokyo, so they're living in one of the like nearby prefectures, or they're living on the outskirts of Tokyo, so that they can still get to the city to meet their friends and like do work and stuff, but they live in a like slower paced, larger area where they can afford to have like a larger place to live. But the thing is, they all have like wooden houses again, and they're all really old, and that's not what we want. We have to have a concrete place, because if there's an earthquake, the wooden houses could just like collapse, and like the insulation. I spent time living in June's parents' house, and the insulation killed me because you could hear everything outside. The winter was absolutely freezing. The summer was hot. I can't stand the no insulation. And most places are still like those old wooden houses or old wooden apartments. So I've even looked up areas near Tokyo, but it's just really hard to find decent looking concrete places. So I guess our expectations are a little too high for moving anywhere near there. And then again, like I'm not a fan of Tokyo. I would rather move south where there's like more warmth. I don't like winter. When I get depressed in the winter, like I need sunlight. I can't directly be in the sunlight for very long because like skin cancer and sunburning and stuff, but I would rather have it be sunny all day. I don't like how early the sun sets in Japan. I very firmly believe Japan is in the wrong time zone, because in the summer here in Nagoya, the sun rises at 4:30 in the morning, but then it will start setting around like 7 or earlier. Like in the winter, it starts setting at like, the sun will be halfway down in the sky at 3 p.m. So whenever you've seen like, if you've seen any of the anime where kids are walking home after school at like 3 p.m. and the sun is like really on its way to setting, and it's like a really low angle sunlight with like long shadows, that's just normal. Don't think it's necessary anymore. Really, no one gets up at 4:30 anymore. Like, please, Japan, change your time zone. So yeah, I would rather move south where it's warmer and there's more sunlight and it doesn't get as cold in the winter. But then again, if we move south, we get farther away from all of our friends. And then if we need to do business, which is mostly in Tokyo, then we're too far away from Tokyo. It costs too much for us to travel there. I really like Kyushu. We visited there earlier, and unfortunately we didn't get to Fukuoka, but we really want to go. So far, all of our friends or the people we know who have gone to Fukuoka have said it's their favorite city in Japan. So I have a lot of high hopes for Fukuoka, and I kind of want to move there. Even though I haven't been there yet, I'm sure I would love it, because we only just stopped in Nagasaki and I absolutely adored it. It was fantastic. I'm sure I would really like it there. But then again, there's the whole thing where it's really far away from all of our friends. And I guess at this point, it's kind of more about whether I place more of an importance on the surroundings and our environment, or being more convenient and hanging out with friends and doing business, which is a really hard decision. I kind of think friends are more important right now, as long as we could find like a place that looks halfway decent on the inside. And then maybe in the distant future we can move, you know, out into a rural area where it's beautiful and there aren't as many people and we can get a nice big place or something. For now, maybe it's better to be closer to our friends, but I don't know. It's such a hard decision. One of our friends moved to Tokyo recently and they said they prefer it here. So, I'm just... I don't know what to do. We've been worrying about this for quite a while now. We still haven't made any decision. If we could afford it, maybe we would move close to Tokyo for just a little while, so we could be closer to some of our friends. Or maybe we would move to Inuyama, because we do have Andrew Marston.
We need to convince him.
We have to convince Haku?
Andrew Marston.
Oh, we have to convince Andrew Marston to move to Inuyama, or
no, to live with us.
To live with us, yeah.
Next to our house.
Yeah, but so basically we just, Andrew, if you haven't seen Andrew's channel, you should. He's an amazing video editor and
his new season has
filmer. His new season?
Yeah.
He makes absolutely incredible videos. He is a wonderful person. I love hanging out with him and his wife Lori. They're so great. They're probably our closest friends where we live, like both in vicinity and like people we hang out with. Fortunately, we haven't been able to meet a lot this year because we've both been traveling a lot, but we're gonna hang out with them next month, at the end of this month or next month. I don't know what date. At the end of this month, I think. Hopefully. But yeah, we need to convince them to move with us wherever we move. So maybe we'll just get together with them and discuss where we should all move. I kind of want to convince all of my friends to move to Fukuoka. I know Michaela's there, and I've met her once in person, but that's all. But maybe we could just convince everyone to move to Fukuoka, and then we would all be happy and living in the same area. If any of you have been to Fukuoka and like Tokyo, what do you think about the different places in terms of like living? I feel like I've heard that in Fukuoka you can still live on the outskirts of the city, so it's like really quick to get into the city center where you can like have a lot of stores and shopping and like fun stuff and friends, and then you can go live on the outskirts where there's more like room and it's cheaper and you can have a bigger place and like more nature and stuff. We still haven't even been there, so I guess I shouldn't like place too much importance. I shouldn't like make a decision yet, but yeah. So that's kind of one of the things that's been on our minds for a while. I'm nowhere near making any sort of decision. Neither is June. I guess we're just kind of not we're trying not to like worry about it too much because it's gonna be a while anyway, since like I said, it's really expensive to move here. And it'll be even more expensive next time since we'll have to like haul all of our furniture and everything. So, I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Bye!